Just finishing getting set up here. You gotta do my vocal exercises first. Alright, you got Killa, you got Rook, you got fucking whatever his name is. Endymion. You got that pink haired chick. You got dog girl who has no name. You have Jade, the sensual bird. Then you got the idol whose name I forget, and like Uni or something like that is like the dog who showed up for like half a second in the front seat. The creator self-insert, yeah, that one. Whatever the fuck that name is. I don't remember. I mean, the easiest way is just to hit that continue button. So you got Rook, Shock, Killa, Rocker, Inumi, and Acheron. Yeah, you got that whole other world that hasn't been explored at all yet. It gives me chills. Yeah, I'm hoping to get some more hot lines like that. Tonight's beautiful stream of this great game. Alright, I'm just gonna leave it to you to fill in whoever joins after. Because Lily's not watching right now. She's busy doing actual human things and I'm doing subhuman things. Not to call furry subhuman, just the writing in this game is very poor. So let's get started. I don't wish to load the save file, but I don't really have a choice. We're off to a good start. Before I loaded the game, I was scared. Oh shit, it totally is. Why would it do that? I'll just try. Man, this game fucking blows at capturing. Alright, let's gotta reboot it. Because for some reason, when I started it and it captured fine, and then it just stopped capturing for some stupid fucking reason. I mean, I can't blame OBS. Probably because I full screened it and then tried capturing it or something like that. Oh god. Just snap that there. Can I unlock X and Y, please? I swear I did not have this problem last time. Annoying. Oh yeah, I suppose I did that, huh? Come on. There we go. Alright, cool. Let's try that again. Haha, I'm scared about loading this game. Oh my god, I stepped out of the limo. I was scared. Haha, we're back where we were. The game's just cursed. You're right. Alright, let me get into characters here. Before I stepped out of the limo, I was scared. Rook didn't exactly instill us with confidence, you know, telling us about the 30-something murders since we landed. However, upon seeing Akihabara, that all changed. I've looked at pictures before. I've read books once. Seen things online. Wink. But like with anything else, pictures don't suffice. Well, what do you think? It's stunning! I almost don't believe it! It's prettier than I could have ever imagined. So, where are you taking us? I notice that Rook quickly scurries off. Is he running away? Well, you two couldn't decide, right? So Rook and myself have decided for you. We're going to a place called Arcadia. There's all manner of video games there. They specialize in old arcade cabinets too. Arcadia? Wow, I read about that place. It's supposed to be retro gaming heaven. You flatter me, Killa. But you're right. Arcadia hasn't been without stumbles, though. The console and PC gaming advent was huge. No one wanted to go to an arcade anymore. You know what that means. Bankruptcy. Oh, I didn't know about that. But it must have been resolved, right? I mean, if it's still open today. Yeah, thanks to an anonymous donation. Someone with a big passion for gaming. I could neither confirm nor deny it was me. I think you just confirmed it was you. Did I? Jade gives us both a sly wink. I think it's called a blink when you wink at two people at once, but I'm not a doctor. Killa shrugs, unsure of how to respond. Well, either way, it's still open. And the owners love their kind benefactor. Enough to give them free reign of the place. But let's not start any rumors, shall we? Remember what Rook said about our tour? With the deaths, we're under scrutiny. People would shy away from those involved, and even those associated with them. I don't want Arcadia getting hurt again. So let's not waste any time getting there. Wouldn't want to keep Rook waiting. And there's lots of fun to be had. Alright, I'm game! I have to say, this sounded cooler than a maid cafe, and Killa seems to enjoy our destination as well. She starts to lead the way, and we follow. Jade leads us down the crowded streets of Akihabara. I could tell why they called it Electric Town. The streets and stores were just brimming with light. Killa seemed astounded and can't stop looking around. Not much farther. It's pretty close. That's convenient. I thought it'd be farther away. Location must be good for business. Yeah. Easily accessible. A lot of tourists stop to check it out. You know, before they go deeper in. I'm really not trying to, like, over-sexualize her, but the writing does it for me. It also stands out in its own unique way. Wrong it's. You'll see when we turn the next corner. Sure enough, I see it when we turn the corner. It's not what I expected at all, to be honest. It looks dull. Killa was right. Every other building was so bright, but Arcadia is dull and inconspicuous. It almost looked more like a shipping warehouse. Well, I hope I can change your mind, Killa. Don't you know it's the inside that counts? I'll show you what they have to offer. She motions towards the door. After we slowly approach it, she opens it up, popping it open on a handstand, and our eyes behold Arcadia in all of its glory. Welcome to Arcadia! He says it quite loudly and with a dramatic flair. Wait, is that why he came ahead in the first place? I won't turn on a dramatic entrance, but that's odd. Thank me later. You're among the elite. You got a personal welcome to Arcadia. This here is our home away from home. Home away from home? Yeah, we pretty much live here. For the reasons I mentioned before, I'm broke from having refunded this piece of shit arcade. The only price we have to pay is cleaning. Well, mainly dusting. It's not that bad. Rook, make sure to show them a good time. I have some things to tend to in my office. Oh, pants? Come see me before you leave. There's something I'd like to talk about. No rush, just make sure to come later on. She smirks at me before walking away. So, as you can see, this is heaven. Arcade cabinets as far as you can fathom. I noticed that Rook is typing away on his tablet, even though he's never looking at it or doing anything with it. He's talking to someone while talking to us? Again, his ability to multitask is outstanding. Wow, that's not even an understatement. Hey Rook, do you have Backroad Brawler too? Of course we do. We're not rookies. I prefer the Turbo Edition, don't you? Is that so? Didn't take you to be hardcore. But if that's the case, then one-on-one. I know I could take you. Here's a practice. It's out of order. What? Both of them are? Unfortunately, yeah. I can get a little vigorous sometimes. The joysticks are in need of prompt repair. Jay doesn't want me going easy on her. So sometimes I can get carried away. Even then, she's undefeated. Oh, that sucks. Indeed it does. But we have other options. Just follow me. I have a good one in mind. It's always a big hit with the tourists. We follow him as he leads us to a machine. In big letters it reads UFO Claw Game. Is this one of those abduction simulators? Yeah, I guess. These are a staple at Japanese arcades. You have to win yourself a souvenir. Something to remember us by. We have those games back home. Just they're not themed around UFOs. Don't you win little stuffed animals? They're almost always rigged. The claw can't support that much weight. Can't we play something that takes skill? Hey, we don't rig games in Arcadia. This game is a pure measure of skill. It takes a great spatial awareness to win. Besides, the animals inside are tiny, and the claw can easily support their weight. And the claw has a UFO around it too. The game has its own motif. Wrong it's again. You're abducting the cute little animals. There's so much exposition on fucking... just like... They've been talking about a UFO claw game for at least 3 minutes now. Did you just say cute? There's something I never thought I'd hear. So who's going first? Let's have a contest. Rook immediately steps behind me and pushes me. I lose my balance and fall towards the machine. It seems he didn't want me to acknowledge what he said. Just play. Forget you heard anything. And besides, it's a fun little experience. You'll be helping this alien world out. I have no choice, so I proceed to play. Apparently I'm an alien spacecraft abducting bears. Wow. Look out, everyone. It goes as far as to have a town named Teddyville. Well, this seems simple enough. Just need good aim. Killa and Rook watch me with extreme intensity. You think they're spectating an Olympic sport? My tongue slips out of my mouth as I get more precise. After lining up the claw, I press the red button. And I miss. And I win. That was it? It drops my prize into a chute with some fanfare. Well, I guess I won myself a little teddy bear. That was extremely anticlimactic. Yeah, no shit, dude. This game really attracts the tourists. Congrats! Not many people win so easily. Take the prize. You've earned it. I nod and lay down, grabbing the small bear. It's extremely fluffy but seems cheaply made. Almost like it could fall apart at any moment, like my will to live. I guess that was pretty cool. Not as intense as other games, though. I wish those joysticks weren't broken. Well, that's just life in arcade. Most games are out of order. We don't have the luxury to pick and choose. Keep that toy safe, Pants. You always remember winning big. Most people leave here empty-handed. I don't think this qualifies as winning big. In fact, I don't think this qualifies as winning at all. This isn't something I'd really want to keep. It's totally something I'd want to keep. I wonder if maybe I should give it to Killa? Or perhaps it would deepen my bond with Rook. Either way, I don't think it should stay with me. What should I do with the toy? I feel like if I give it to Killa, she's gonna be like, I don't need your shitty charity. I'll win mine myself. And if I give it to Rook, he'll be bashful because he's just tsundere and doesn't like to say the word cute. And if I keep it for myself, nothing happens. I don't know. I'll give it to Rook. I decided to give it to Rook. It wouldn't hurt to try and butter him up. Having it on my side would be a good thing. Before I can do anything, Rook's phone rings. His ears perk up and promptly reaches for his pocket. Excuse me for a moment. This could be important. He leaves us by ourselves while he takes the call. This is the first time today he left us alone. I expected him to be taking way more calls than that. He was definitely high up there in the show business. So, what do you think of this place? I think it's cool, but there's no food. Like, honestly, I'm famished. I nod in agreement as my stomach goes on to rumble. I don't think I've eaten the last 12 hours. Of course, this was largely my fault. I denied service on the plane and on the train. I wonder if Jade has anything in her office. She's got something. What fuckery have I missed? Nothing. Literally, we got out of a limo. There's about 3 minutes of exposition telling us where we're going to this arcade. We came to the arcade, and then the last 15 minutes, basically, have been going through playing the claw machine once, and that was it. And now we're hungry. That's it. I remember that she wanted to see me before we left. Oh yeah, Jade wanted to see me before we left. Seems like I'd have time to visit her now. Should I go see her? Or should I stay with Killa? I mean, Jade did say to go talk to her. I let Killa know that I'm going to see Jade. He nods. I'm sure he understands. He has a whole arcade to entertain him while he waits. Plus, fuck him. Probably for the best. Who knows how long Rook will be? I could try to win my own toy, I suppose. See? I wandered in the same general direction that Jade did. She didn't tell me where her office was. For a moment, I'm scared. This place is massive. But eventually I find a large single stairway. Just one stair. This definitely leads to some sort of office space. There's a cage in the sky. I slowly ascend the staircase and open the door, only hoping that it leads to her office. I have a moment of doubt as I turn the knob, and I instantly see that I was right. It's the most generic fucking office I've ever seen in my life. When I enter, Jade turns to me with a smile. Hey there. Didn't expect you so soon. Sorry for not being ready to receive you. I tell her it's fine, and that Rook is busy. So I decided to come and see her while I waited. I asked her what he wanted to show me in private. Well, actually, I have some questions. But they might seem a little odd at first. But if you're open, please bear with me. She takes a deep breath before speaking, and surely enough, her question is odd. Do you believe in other worlds? You know, like a parallel universe? I don't know what to say. I stared at her dumbfoundedly. What kind of question is that? Well, let me explain it like this then. Let's say I flip a coin. And let's say it lands on heads. Do you believe that there are other realities? For example, where it landed on tails? Again, I'm not sure what to say. I'll take that silence as a no. Well, allow me to continue. What if I flip it and hide the outcome? This is where it gets really interesting. Have you heard of Schrodinger. Neither of us can observe the result, so it's both heads and tails at once, just like I'm gonna be. Until the result is revealed, we exist in both realities at once. How does it become an alternate reality? Because you gotta get some good exposition in there somehow. I can't wait till I win a ticket to go see Kiari Pamu Pamu, and then I'm gonna fly to Japan and get wrapped up in a murder mystery, a trans-dimensional murder mystery, mind you. The head's reality and the tail's reality. This proves the existence of more realities. We're able to place ourselves at an apex, a climax, if you will. An apex is like a fork in the road. An apex being like a fork in the road. That was weirdly written. Yeah, shout out Apex Legends. Shout out Respawn Studios. Make fucking Titanfall 3. But our car is stopped. We haven't yet taken our turn. We hold the ability to go either way. But there's so much more at play here. If we go too fast, there's going to be an 8-hour refractory period. These two possibilities spawn infinite ones. We can use this to predict other realities. A reality where you didn't come up here. A reality where Arcadia doesn't exist. Or one where you never even won the contest. You can expand more. It gets crazy. But we cannot prove that these don't exist. Especially because of the coin toss theory. It's a thought experiment I created. You see, I don't really do much. Except seduce weird anime kids. I like to think about this in my spare time, which I have too much of because I live in an arcade. I've won awards, but that's not the point. You must think this is all really weird. People can win awards for that? Well, sure they can. It's like fiction. You only need a logical consistency. That's part of why I love all this. It's all theory with no practice. I'm really bad at doing anything. Imagine this turned into a battle royale. Hell yeah, dude. I'm 110% down with that shit. I blink a few times at a loss for words. I'm clearly more like just stupider in the game than I am in real life. Oh, sorry. I must sound insane to your little pea brain, energy drink ridden, gangly ass, scurvy having little shit. I get that loud when I talk about this, but it all makes sense, I promise. She moves to her desk and sits down. I decide to sit down in the chair in front of her. She scares a few papers across her desk. My studies are helping me find the truth about the Midnight Deaths. There's a deeper meaning here for sure. I know Rook told you about them, and quite frankly, they make no sense. But that's why I'm attracted to them. It reminds me of my quantum mechanics. All I need is a logical line of thought. A reason for these deaths that makes sense. She pushes a newspaper clipping toward me. It's an article about one of the victims. This one here. He was shot to death, but there was no gun found in the area. And not even any evidence of a gunshot. One might say they used a knife. It keeps getting weirder, my friend. Look here at the next victim. She placed another newspaper clipping in front of me. This man hung himself, but there was no news found. Just wounds from a rope around his neck. He might have been strangled. Maybe they kept the gun? Yeah, I don't know. We're assuming a world. Jussie Smollett. Hey, you can't prove that. Case is sealed, bitch. The crime scenes are contradictory. There's nothing about them that adds up. It's as if all the evidence just vanished, like the person who did it just walked away before anyone noticed. That really didn't make any sense. Well, for the murder, the corpse could have been moved. But for the suicide, that's where it gets tricky. You can't move after you're dead. You also can't be strangled by a noose by someone else. And there's another incident here. One that I find incredibly interesting. Someone who survived the Midnight Deaths. She shows me one final newspaper clipping. He reported loss of breath, like he was being strangled to death. But it suddenly stopped, and he lived. It matches the other hanging victim. No news, and he didn't even own a rope. Because no one else can own ropes. This is where it gets really scary. His neck was injured by a rope. Markings all around, just like the other victims. But he lived. They call him Scary Squatter. The man who lived. Everything else matches up perfectly. This man gave a very detailed testimony. My neck hurt, and then I couldn't breathe good, and I breathed fine again, but bruise on neck. I want to use that to help free Claes. He shouldn't be under any sort of suspicion. I know he's Death Star as we arrived, but he doesn't deserve any flack for this. I've been using his testimony to theorize. I just need to come up with something, even if it seems very incredible in nature. One explanation is better than none at all. The kid doesn't deserve to be blamed. This is all completely out of his control. And the survivor made no mention of Claes. That is very admirable of her. I'm sure she could come up with an explanation. But the question is, would anyone believe it? The man who survived, he explained a very peculiar feeling. Something that happened during all of this. His butthole. His mind was overtaken with memories. Yeah, Hillary Clinton ain't shit compared to interdimensional chokings, strangulations at all. But these memories didn't belong to him. Well, they did, but not the same him. I know I explained my theory. Y'all heard of the Stratton Strangler? Have y'all heard of the fucking #thing slasher? I want to relate to experience, and by extension, all of these deaths. These memories that took over his mind, I think they're from another reality. It'll make sense if I explain it a little more. What if another reality is colliding, like coming into contact with ours, and its content is superseding our own? It would align with his testimony. If someone is dead in the other reality, then maybe they die in this one too, except that completely goes against the whole point of the theory. Because if one dies and the other lives, and if nothing ever happens, then the state of superposition isn't known. I know it doesn't explain everything, or anything, but I use the testimony that was given. It explains how no evidence was left behind. However, there are still holes. Why does this always happen at midnight? I haven't a clue. The same time each day. Sorry for going on a tangent there. What do you have to say about all this? Stupid. But at the same time, it makes perfect sense as well. It doesn't. Sounds like what I deal with every day. There's so many thought experiments, you can lose yourself in them easily. I know it doesn't make much sense, but I also can't be proven wrong, except by the contradictions that have been drawn by the exact things I said right before this. That's why I find it so interesting. Interesting was an understatement. Yeah, there's some real, like, interdimensional brain shit. We've gone past single galaxy brain. I couldn't prove her wrong. She had a logical line of thought, as odd as it was. Whatever. So that's what I wanted to talk about. I'm trying my hardest to save Claes. I don't want him under such scrutiny. It affects you as well. You still have to hide while you're here. There's a stigma attached to his name. I want everybody to be free. I don't think either party enjoys this. I thank her for her efforts and for the interesting lesson as well. As weird as her theories were, she was sensible. I'll have to return to my studies for now. I feel like I'm close to a breakthrough. But I have to thank you for your time, Pants. She takes out her phone and places it on the table. Would you mind exchanging numbers? Hell yeah. I'll be in touch if anything changes. Don't worry, I won't spam you. Jade, why are you messaging me at 3 in the morning? Holy shit, Pants, we really broke through on this one. What if someone in the other world took a shit? What happens in this one? Ah! I oblige when we exchange information. You got Jade's contact information? I'll leave her to her studies and go back downstairs. Rook and Kill are nowhere to be found. I decide to ditch the arcade and look for them outside. Would you like to save your game? Sure. True ending flag. We're on the way, boys. See? See? There's 0. Now there's 1. Huh. It already got dark outside? Just how much time were we wasting in there? Oh well. Akihabara at nighttime was beautiful. It is lit up unlike anything I've ever seen. Did you enjoy a little date? I wouldn't really call it a date. I was just joking, Rook. No need to repeat it. Now I'm embarrassed. Killa was talking about me behind my back, you little bitch. That's new. I made a joke, and that's all it was. About you wanting to woo Jade. I'm sorry for doing that. It was rude. Funny. Jade wouldn't have any of that. Dude, do you listen to her? She's far more interested in quantum mechanics. I let Killa know that this wasn't my objective. And I accept his apology as well. Regardless, it made me laugh. We bonded, or whatever you want to call it. That is, until something came up. Something came up? I don't want to interrupt you two. We had no idea what you may have been doing. Like fucking. But I got a call. We're going to the hotel. A call? Wait, that's not so weird. Did I hear him say bonded with Killa? I noticed that they're both holding takeout bags. No way. They got food without me? I can't explain the specifics right now, but it involves your safety, both of you. So I need to take you to your hotel. Yeah, it all seemed very important. We discussed it over some dinner. Without me. Damn, I'm hungry. Good news though, we're really close. It's just a short walk away. That's a personal attack. Don't say get fucked MC, I am the MC. I'm trying to hold back tears. But make sure to book a convenient location. I'll tell you a little more tomorrow. But right now, safety is priority. I take his word for it and try not to object. A lecture from Milk is not what I want right now. He starts to lead us down the street. Master Chief, by extension of having alternate dimensions, is in this game. In the universe where people aren't furries, they're men in suits. The Covenant are coming and Master Chief needs your help. Well, this is it. Hope you enjoy your stay. Your room is 217. Here are your key cards. It shouldn't be too hard to find. He hands us both our key cards. Wow, this place is massive. What kind of amenities does it have? Well, you'll each have your own beds. There's a hot tub, a bed, and a shower. You'll each have your own bed. There's a hot tub, a bed, and a shower. Come on. You'll even get your own masseuse. A personal masseuse? Wow, I could sure go for a massage. This is crazy. I feel like a millionaire. I wonder who else is staying here. Is this the hotel where contest winners stay? There must be all sorts of celebrities present. I hope you two enjoy it. You have no idea how much it costs. Not too much, I hope. Be up at 9 AM sharp. I'll come and get you in the morning. And if it's not me, it'll be Jade. You'll get to meet more of the team. Plus you'll experience the backstage life. There's lots of food, just so you know. Food? Yes, finally! That's all I wanted to hear! Killa excitedly runs through the hotel room doors. I decided to give chase. I wouldn't want to get lost. Before I can catch up, Rook decides to stop me. Hey, hold up a second. Yeah, steal his look. You can't, because it doesn't exist yet. That's what you turn around and face him in the eyes. I face him in the eye, it's just like, throw your cheek at his fucking right eye. This is our first time making any real eye contact, and for a moment I sense sadness within him. I'm sorry for being a jerk to you. I know you're thinking it in your head. Everyone else is too, I can tell. I know that I've wronged you a lot today. What? Even if you aren't strong enough to say so. Where is this coming from? But you know, we have a lot in common. So I feel like I can confide in you. This is awkward, I know. But hear me out. I really want that teddy bear, dude. I didn't give it to him yet. I didn't give him the prize yet. I was going to, and then he answered a phone call. A lot of the stuff I say, I'm joking. Forehead. But apparently they're only funny to me. I'm not really funny. I end up offending or judging everyone else. That much is clear already. I hope that Jade doesn't become like this. Especially since Rook was teaching her humor. I just wish I was understood. Half the time I have to bite my tongue. I'm scared I'll hurt people. I don't want to get hate just talking. Half the time I'm just speaking my mind. It makes me scared in everything I say. A world where you're scared to speak. It's a lonely one, I could say that much. That's why I use my tablet so much. I can be alone, yet with others. I can bite my tongue before it's too late. It gives me a filter, if that makes sense. And you know, this wasn't always the case. He stares at me like I've done something horribly wrong. As far as I can tell, I didn't. This outburst is all on him. He pulls out his phone and starts typing on it. He's texting me. I'm literally standing right here. I pull out my phone to see what he said. Hell yeah. Rook used to work at a maid cafe? That's bizarre. I stare at him directly in the eyes with a serious look. I want him to know that I'm handling this with respect. He now starts typing on his phone again. But I lost someone close to me, and that just changes your outlook in life, you know? Someone close to him died. I wonder who that could have been. I maintain my eye contact with him. After a few moments, his eyes well up. When they died, one of the most cheerful hosts in all of Japan turned into a cynical, withdrawn jerk. So saying he didn't always act like this? He must have lost someone very important. I mean, to impact his personality so much. And you're looking at him. I really didn't expect any of this, but it makes sense. Yeah, can I get big ooh-woos in chat? If there's anyone here lurking, I need you to hit me with an ooh-woo. This is some real fucking sad hours. Now I know why he hates maid cafes. It's so clear. Good thing we didn't go to one earlier today. You're so stupid! Huh? No idea how you got me to open up. But I swear, if you tell anyone else, well, that'll be the end of you. He's blaming me? Somehow that feels like an extremely Rook thing to do. I hate you, Dad! He closed his eye and tilts his head upwards. Suddenly I realized he wasn't talking to me. He was talking to himself. You just can't stop running your mouth! Even at the most inappropriate times! You should have stayed a worthless hikikomori! He starts crying now, his eyes glistening. Not just a tear, but a veritable fountain of them. This ain't a valid option. I need to support my boy. I tell him I like him. I mean, I know he's a good person deep inside. He just has to find them and let them out. I can tell he's having an episode of depression. I'm a psychologist. Sometimes we shut out the world when we're depressed. By either isolating yourself or pushing friends away. He's clearly been trying to push us away while wasting all of his time on his tablet. Hikikomori is a Japanese term for shut-in. Thanks, I didn't know that. They often live on junk food and surf the web. I knew his judging was a symptom of a deeper issue. I want to help him, not see him suffer like this. He's having trouble with the loss of a loved one. We've all been there, or at least we will be. The latter is a more terrifying thought than the former. But it's something we'd all face during our lives. Rook lets out a soft smile before he continues talking. That's the last thing I expected to hear. Normally people just walk away from me. I haven't had someone stay and listen, let alone say something positive about me. This is a personal fucking attack. Most people just harp on me for the tablet. They tell me I'm wasting my time, you know. Thanks for saying what you did, though. I might have taken it the wrong way. Or perhaps your intent was different. But thank you. It was still very kind. I haven't smiled like this in a while. He takes a few deep breaths before calming down. It's awfully impulsive of him to open up like this. Thank you for listening to me, regardless. But I guess we need a few ground rules now. So listen close, your life is on the line. Tell anyone what happened, I will end you. Never mention this. I have eyes and ears everywhere, got it? Except I don't have friends, so I don't have anyone to actually report back to me. There we go, back to our regularly scheduled Rook. He seems so concerned about his public image. In fact, he's willing to threaten me over it. I know there aren't legitimate threats, however. Please, go and enjoy your hotel. Don't let my sob story bring you down. It certainly helped me. Venting, I mean. And you know what? I kinda like you too. I admire your ability to listen to people. Without saying another word, he slowly walks away. He types away on his tablet like usual. Just what was he doing on there all the time? Yeah, let's just take a moment to honor our boy Aniki, aka Billy Harrington. Alright, thank you for participating this time. I decided to find my way to our hotel room. I was a little worried and anxious about what happened, but all my worry is washed away when I enter the room. Would you like to save your game? Yes, I would. Another true ending flag. We're just nailing them left and right. The biggest hotel room I've ever seen. This place is huge! If you pictured a fancy Japanese hotel, this is exactly what'd be in your head. It even has a kotatsu. Not that I'm cold or anything, but at least they're prepared for it all. He must have been checking it while I was outside. I guess he got a little head start at everything. I already had a soak in the hot tub. It was heavenly. I can't get over how great this place is. It's top tier, that's for sure. Let's turn on the TV and see what's on. I love weird Japanese game shows. This game's 11 years long. Yeah, roughly. It's also because I read slow as fuck. But I'm not like that kid that you popcorn in high school to have a good giggle. Slow. He scurries over to the table and grabs the remote. For a moment, he looks confused. I guess the buttons on the remote are Japanese. I see him find a big red button and press it. Sure enough, the TV turns on. I suppose some things are universal between cultures. He sits down on the floor and motions for me to join. I also feel like once they get through a lot of the bullshit exposition, it'll go a lot faster. Seems like there's a big news report going on. I see crime scene tape, then I look at the time. Now I know what's going on. Another midnight death? No way. A news report appears on the screen. He seems distraught, maybe even scared. Fukumoto here, reporting live from Tokyo. I have some distressing news. Give me a moment here. Confirming. Looks off screen for a few moments and nods, as if he's talking to somebody on the scene. He holds a microphone away from himself. Whatever he's talking about must be unsafe to hear. Sorry, it'll just take a little while longer. Sorry for interrupting your program. I'll resume as soon as this is over. He looks away from the camera again, same direction. This Fukumoto wears a face of shock all of a sudden, like he's been given horrible news. It's now being confirmed to me. Another victim of the midnight deaths. Their body was discovered just moments ago. He lets out an audible gulp before continuing. I'm not sure how to go about saying this, but it's with a heavy heart that I... Heavy heart? Oh no, this must not be an ordinary victim. He cuts himself off, taking a gulp before he continues. It's Clays, the pop idol. Oh shit! Oh god! Recently in Tokyo to launch his new tour, but now a victim of these senseless deaths. Oh fuck. Yeah, dude. You know we're about to go to Terra where there's like a new character. And we're in Terra. An earlier time. When? No one knows. In the throne room of Velasquez, the immortal king. I don't know what voice to do for this. History repeats itself. At least that's what they say, right? We make our mistakes and learn from them? I cannot say, my lord. I am merely mortal. I live a short life with many mistakes. I'll be gone before history can repeat. But you You have the wisdom of millennia, something I am not lucky enough to hold. Were it a statement, I would agree. But you posed a question, and I am one I have no right to answer. There is no need to apologize. I was simply thinking aloud. Though it may relate to Player somewhat, he's gaining quite the following. Rightly so. He has the charisma, enough to bend anyone to his will, even if the cause is as foolish as his. Yes, what a foolish cause it is! The last time someone sought severance, well, the only thing severed was the head. It was a costly and dangerous desire. Just a joke, of course. Though, I forgot about your career. I'll try not to joke about assassination. How's your protege coming along? You mean Conrad? He's conflicted. Sometimes he thinks our methods are harsh. Perhaps he might even think they're wrong. But I was the same. I would give it time, my lord. He'll become someone of great importance. Very well. I trust in the both of you. You'll expose Lord Player quite swiftly. And so my reign will go unhindered. Conrad is the apprentice of Endymion. He was the guy who was like, yeah, it's cold. And then Endymion was like, it gives me chills. Of course, my lord. Though Player is not the topic of today, there's a matter of much greater import. Is something wrong, my lord? No. It's the opposite, in fact. My opening of Terra to immigrants? It was for a very specific reason. There are those that would disagree with me, and I would as well if I were unaware. The truth of this matter is quite secretive. Truth? You aren't doing this for charity? It's a welcome side effect, to be honest. But my intent wasn't to take in so many. I only sought the arrival of one person. The Savior. The Savior? Yes. I opened our borders solely for them, but so far they have not come. And what might we need saving from? It cannot be a lack of resources. Lord Player is fooling everyone with that. Indeed it is not, but my lips are sealed. Only know that they are needed urgently. I will require your help, however. I have learned of something recently, a method that may expedite their arrival. I am all ears, my lord. I finally pinpointed their location. A trusted source has found the Savior. They reside on a planet called Earth. I've never heard of it. For a very specific reason, Endymion. Earth is not connected to any other world. It is what I call an untouched planet. Such a thing exists? Only when you have something to hide. Or in this case, something to shelter. How can I help? It seems Earth is beyond anyone's reach. I'm happy to assist, but I seem unable to. Gladly that is not the case. That trusted source I mentioned earlier, they've come up with a means to reach Earth. A means to retrieve the Savior. Retrieve, my lord? Yes, like a thief in the night. And this task will fall solely to you. And there's no one else I can trust. I am honored. What must be done? You must perform a ritual. 2 chicken hearts. And a copy of Terra Weekly. I just love it. Killa and I remain frozen in fear. We watch in horror as the TV displays a gruesome image. Whoa, look at the guy, he's dead! We see a body bag being loaded into an ambulance. It drives away without sirens wailing. That means no, it can't be. It just can't. Suddenly everything comes crashing down. There would be no more world tour. Oh no! I'm gonna get kicked out of Japan. Will we be sent back home? Will we be some sort of media hotshots? Killer's jaw appears inches away from the floor. I could tell he's fighting off tears with fervent effort. But it... He seems to be unable to form a coherent sentence. I reach out to comfort him and... I can't move. I know this feeling by now. I experienced it several times today. On the train ride here. I'm about to be visited. By him. I don't remember his voice at all. I'm just gonna use my voice. It's fucking stupid. It's an interesting thing, isn't it? Life is such a frail force, while death is infinitely more powerful. Some would hope it's the other way around. To watch your world fade away, like a small fly being swatted on the wall. Just like that, someone can die. No one is above death, just as no one is below life. I've had enough of his cryptic speeches. I deserve some answers, and I make that very clear. Thankfully, I'm able to move and speak again. You want answers? What isn't an answer exactly? Oh my god, this guy's such a fucking chode. A doorway to more questions, perhaps? Now he's just getting pretentious. But I sense some nervousness? Is he worried about something? It's like he's trying to stall. Well, I did promise you answers, but I can't suspend this place for long. Please come with me to the Ark. Suspend? You have to grab my hand. A connection is required to do this. What about the first time? I spent a moment thinking before acting. Come now. Grab my hand. If this suspension ends, you'll be trapped. And you don't want to know what happens then. You're just kind of stuck. Forever. Furry man. Take me by the hand, lead me to the Ark. That you go to bark. I don't know. I feel like if I click don't grab his hand, I'm gonna get a bad end. But I'm kind of curious. Yeah, if I don't grab it, he'll probably just grab it anyway. Fine, I'll grab it. He seems happy at your compliance. I reach out and grab his hand. I have no idea what he's planning, but I trusted him. I don't really trust him, especially if he's going to give me some answers. I couldn't disobey him on the verge of truth. And to give me a power like he implied he did, he had to trust me as well. I haven't used the power at all. This might hurt a little bit. As he snaps his finger, this time using his free hand. And then we're in the Ark. Just like that. First and foremost, allow me to apologize. I feel as though you may be overwhelmed. It's not like me to take things so fast, but recently, matters have become urgent. Furthermore, I will give you answers. I feel like you deserve that much. You were thrust into unusual circumstances. So I welcome you once more to the Ark. A place where you can relax and ponder. A place where you can collect yourself. And others. Only a select few are allowed entry here. Those that I trust with my life. But not only that, with the lives of many. And you are the first in a very long time. So you're free to relax. No danger will befall you here, not as long as you're by my side. He inches closer to me. As if my safety increases with his proximity. He's sitting on my lap. So about those answers you requested, I am willing to provide you with them, but I'll only answer one question. There are more important matters at hand. I would like it if you thought carefully. I will not be vague or hide the truth, so make sure you ask what you truly want. You deserve it after all, after what you experienced. But there are far larger issues at hand. I fear the death of Clace is unimportant. Unimportant? Well, that's an insult for sure. Especially when someone just lost their life. But it's probably unwise to vocally contest him. Instead, I stop and think of what I should ask. But only one question? That's hardly fair. There's a veritable mountain of them in my mind. Everything about today was an enigma, and much of it fell into the realm of the supernatural. You can't expect me to find closure from one question unless that was the point. The ability to bend reality to my own will? He's testing me. There would be a way to get all of the answers, and still adhere to his rule of one question. If this power was true, I could easily accomplish that. I would love to save my game. What should I... Oh, ha! It's saving. That's what it is. I thought it was going to be like a mechanic in the game, now it's just saving. Well, we know that the Midnight Deaths are literally just the assassins from Terra coming over and popping off to get people over there. So, quote-unquote, immigrants. More about this power, it's saving and loading. Who are you exactly? I don't know that yet. What is the arc? It's unimportant, probably. So I'm going to go with who are you exactly? I have to know who this man is. It makes the most sense to ask this question. He must know who I am since he gave me this power, yet here I stand knowing nothing about him. Do I know who I am? My, that is a vague question. How do you define an identity? Is it a name? A past? Why am I giving you the runaround when I literally said I wasn't going to 2 minutes ago? One's actions? Is it a personality? Or an appearance? Well, if almost any of those are true, then you have a good idea of who I am. You must be inquiring after a name, and perhaps a past, of which you will only learn one. Where do I start? There are many who call the Ark my home, but there are a few who know the real truth. The Ark is my prison. I've been trapped here for, well, I lost count at 1,000 years, but I've been here way longer than that. Though, if I could be honest with you, it feels only like seconds have passed. Time can lose its importance, you know, especially when you're not victim to it. Back at home, I would cherish every second, but here, time remains almost frozen. I don't even know what year it is. I can't tell when it's day, nor can I tell when night has come. Yes, that is a method of torture. Temporal deprivation, they called it. I'm able to leave for very short periods, but even this is another method of torture. A small taste of home brutally torn away. It's not home because you have been gone thousands of years. I try not to use that power. It only serves to mock what I'm missing. I must be boring you with this tale of woe. Allow me to explain more relevant things. You might wonder why this is my prison? Well, I inherited substantial power. Far more than anyone would call normal. In fact, I'm a threat to the universe, of course. However, you did not ask about this power. I feel I've shared enough about myself. I'm afraid that's all the time I have. I hope you're satisfied with my answer. I wasn't. Despite recent events, I feel relaxed. It was nice to get the honest truth. Before now, he was vague and dodgy. Now that I've answered your question, we have to discuss the real issue here. The reason why I brought you to the Ark? It's quite simple, really. Another world wants to take you. By means of an ominous ritual. They've been trying to summon you for days. I think they could sense the power I gave you. I've been able to intercept them, however. That's why you've been brought to the Ark. I shift your trajectory and take you here. This is so I can try and learn their intent. We wouldn't want your power to be abused. I've even sent them random earthlings. Asshole! It takes a lot of power to bring you here. I need to foil them with other methods. I didn't want them to take you. At least not until I knew why. Does this make sense to you at all? Yeah. If you and the power were to be abused, it could throw the universe into disarray. I don't want that to happen again. The last time it happened, it should be the last. That makes more sense. He takes a look at his surroundings. I see a hint of regret and remorse on his face. Jade would be in heaven right now at all this stuff. But the more I interrupt their ritual, the more I realize I'll never know. I can't figure out why they want you. Is it your beautiful hair? Your strong stature? Your tight butt? It's probably all three. So this time, I'll let them succeed. I wanted to keep you on Earth, for observational purposes of course. But now that will not be possible. Many worlds are going to want you. Your power can save them or destroy them. You'll be caught up in many affairs. We must hope they seek your power for good. Many would use it for nefarious ends. Perhaps after helping this world, we can do good for other worlds as well. Wait, he's sending me to another world? Just like that? That's not right. Am I even able to survive on another planet? This explanation only puts more questions in my head. Do not worry. I'll still watch over you. If anything traumatic happens, just relax. I'll bring you back in the face of danger. Remember that you are cared for. I will not let any harm befall you. I consider you a ray of hope, my agent of fate. I can't wait to die. Without another world, he snaps his fingers loudly. And I feel a rush of inertia as I'm thrown back to Earth. Whoa. This isn't right. Nothing about this is right. I'm finally pushed over the edge and start to panic. The place was dead. I was stripped of the power I didn't ask for. A power that could save or destroy worlds, this was. Before I continue, my entire body feels pain. Yeah, this is some real furry Thanos shit. Like the first time I was here on a much larger scale, I try to focus on my breathing, but even that causes me more pain than I can handle. It feels like a paper cut, but on every fiber of my being. Like I'm getting torn apart at a level less than molecular. But then shortly after, I feel nothing. I'm dead. Oh god. Can I go back to fucking Japan now? I'm already sick and tired of being in a fucking forest with like medieval assholes. I'm quickly thrown against a nearby tree like I was traveling incredibly fast. I land on the ground and grip my head in pain. Oof! The pain radiates harshly with my heartbeat, which to say the least was incredibly fast. Oof, 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 oof. I lost track of time, but eventually it subsided. As I'm lucid again, I quickly examine my surroundings. It feels like everything's moving faster than normal. The swaying leaves look as if they're in a hurricane, but my perception of time quickly returns to normal. That was odd. It's like when you look at a clock. Sometimes the second hand moves faster for a moment. The clock's busted, dude. I take a few steps around, but can't find any balance. I quickly stumble over, brace myself on a tree. What's going on? It feels like I'm drugged. I fall to my knees, embracing the tree. Otherwise I'd be eating a face full of grass. I was really hungry, though. I start to wonder just where I've ended up. But I can only think of where I'm not. This only tells me I'm a long way from home. The anxiety of that fact completely overpowers me. Any semblance of curiosity I have is utterly destroyed. I sulk in some otherworldly homesickness. Here I am, stuck on the soil of a foreign planet. It's had to be brought back in the event of trauma. Was this experience not traumatic enough? And what if something traumatic doesn't happen? Will I ever see Earth again? Will I ever experience the aftermath of Clace's death? Those weren't the types of things I wanted to see, but it's definitely my right to see them. Alright. Dude must have failed fucking government class. What if I don't want this power? I guess I don't even have a say in the matter. I'm simply forced to help against all of my wishes. What else would I be forced to do? Would I ever truly be myself again? You'll get back to where you came from. Huh? I know what it's like to be far from home. That's maybe the farthest you'll ever be. But you'll get back, I know it. He kneels down beside me and wraps an arm around me. Stop, bitch. He rests a hand under my arm and lifts me up slowly. It's very easy to lose your way, especially when others want to use you. They put their own path before your own. He holds me up and I limp alongside him. Who is he? Is this the guy that was conducting the ritual? If so, I don't sense any nefarious intent. He seems very wise. He's put me at ease. Why am I so trusting of just like everyone in this story? Alright, he lifted me up. I trust him. I feel at ease. Even though he's an assassin, I just don't know it yet. It's dramatic irony. I feel my desperation brought you here. Perhaps some of that despair assaulted you. If that is so, then I apologize. Your burden should be yours alone to carry. The journey to bring you to Terra is not an easy one to complete. It is filled with failure and compromise. Terra? Is that where I am? Conrad, it worked. Is that so? How can you tell? It's not like we had an artist's depiction. I know this is the one. And how do you know that, Endymion? I can feel it. Just trust me. Alright, I'll play along. King of Alaska will be very pleased. I feel like I'm finally able to stand on my own. I gently push aside this Endymion in a polite manner. I explain my situation. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know who they are, or who this king is. Very well. You deserve an explanation. At least the best that I'm able to provide. This is Terra. Oh my god, it's so fucking loud. There's been no music for the past like 10 minutes. It's a peaceful world. In fact, we haven't had war for centuries. This is thanks to the immortal king. He has ensured that Terra is a utopia. But unfortunately, that attracts people. There's so many that want to come here. We're a victim to our own kindness and charity. Back it up a second. Immortal King. Yeah, he got lucky. Managed to find a world that suits him. It's a complicated thing, the flow of time. Immortality isn't something I'd want, but I guess it works for him. He's able to get lots of stuff done. Every world experiences time differently. Many worlds are in sync or very close. But if you find that one special world, the one where time flowed differs vastly, well, let's put it this way, you might just be lucky enough to live forever, or you shrivel and die of old age. Our King of Velasquez, he found Terra, a world where time slows very slowly to him. That's why he's been able to live so long. Well, I think what I think Andy is trying to say, it's a good thing you're not dead right now. Your world must flow similarly to Terra. But I guess it's a trade-off. Some people might enjoy a shorter life, especially on Terra where it's safe. It's true. A day of happiness could be desirable. Over a life of war in another world, I mean. World travel is very risky in that regard. Fortunately for you, you're safe. Along with those that came instead of you. Instead of me? We tried to bring you here many times. We also failed to bring you here many times. Meaning, we brought over the wrong person. We had to continue trying, though. Velasquez was very eager to get you here. We made sure we did the ritual every day. But not just every day. We had to do it at the same time as well. Same time every day, huh? That sounds familiar. It's like my J.O. sketch. Don't worry. The others are safe. We gave them to one of the local lords. He helped them immigrate to Terra properly. Well, let's not jump to any conclusions. That lord is known as Lord Player. He has an open hatred for immigrants, so we really can't speak to their safety. He could have killed them for all we know. Conrad, don't be so daft. Either way, Lord Player has the others. He's running for mayor and winning. And mayor is a step below king. So Velasquez now sees him as a valid threat. I guess that's where we come in. We're part of the why Terra is so peaceful. We just kill everyone. We're a private unit funded by Velasquez. We do the things he can't publicly do. Well, I guess you'd call it dirty work. Though no one is supposed to know that. You shouldn't speak so openly, Conrad. It seems that he's annoyed. Yeah, whatever. We're the Assassin's Guild. We have two members, student and teacher. I'm the student, of course. Velasquez wants us to ruin Player. We're supposed to destroy his campaign. Terra isn't ready for a new ruler just yet. They throw the world into disarray. But Player is getting close to the throne, especially among those who hate immigrants. Action needs to be taken so he doesn't win. Wait, back up a second again. Elections? Immigration? Smear campaigns? Am I sure I'm not on Earth right now? Ho ho ho! Social political commentary. And suddenly I don't think I can trust these two. At least not fully. They seem like bad guys? Either way, I've heard enough about politics for now. I had a huge list of questions that needed answering. For example, why was I brought here? Oh, you still have questions? And we still have a long way to go. Seems like these benefit one another. Follow us, we'll explain on the way. If the walking is too much, let me know. We can always stop to rest if you need it. Oh, Chapter 2. After 2 hours, we've reached Chapter 2. They start to lead me down what appears to be a trail. I seem to know enough about Terra, but not why I'm here. Why do they want to teach me about politics? I can't believe that's what I was brought here for. They must be only thinking about their angle. It makes sense, they did go through a lot to get me. But now it's my turn for answers. Just keep up the pace. Walking and talking we'll have to do. We're on a strict schedule, you know. King Velasquez wants you by nightfall. That is, on the day the ritual succeeds. I get this feeling that they don't care. I don't think that's what they want to... I think they want to know the what. I think they want to know the why. Isn't that right? We're back on SE, boys. Well, King Velasquez calls you the Savior. Apparently, Terra needs saving, though I couldn't tell you from what. He is secretive on the matter as well. I just know that he wants you, along with the fact that you're important. He foresees threats like this all the time, so I trust him completely. You're important. Velasquez says history repeats itself. One day he'll agree, another he won't. He flip-flops on a semi-daily basis. But I guess when you're as old as him, you can start to see a pattern in things. But there's no pattern with you. He's never sought help from another world. I guess you're an unknown variant. But I guess sometimes it's what we need. Correct. You're a mystery to me too. You didn't tell us what power you hold, nor what you'd be saving us from. So if that's what you wanted to know, regretfully, I must plead ignorance. I'm a savior? That's outrageous. I couldn't even do anything to save Clays. Hey, savior. Did you catch the hint? Endymion wants to know what makes you tick. He wants to know why you're so special. I mean, we did dedicate our lives to you. We deserve to know the reason why. We haven't answered any of your questions, but... Conrad, don't be so demeaning, and don't read on my words like that. Huh. I guess we're both on the same page. We're both on quest and don't know the reason why. We both know I am the savior, but nothing else. I guess I'd have to get some answers from this king. I'm not sure they know about the Ark, though. Is Conrad hinting that I should tell them my power? It might not be a bad idea to gain their... I heard you not to tell us. Oh. If we needed to know, we'd know. Welcome to hell, bud. Velasquez wouldn't hide it from us. It's something we can wait to learn. You're here for a noble cause. That is something I can guarantee. And that is all I need to know. Do you have anything else to ask? If that's something I can answer, I will. Except I won't. I stop and ponder. What else do I need to know? It seems like they know just as much as I do. Though I'm glad they didn't push me for information. I'm not sure that man would want me revealing my power. I know where I am. I know who these men are. I know where we're headed. I guess that should be enough for now? The majority of my questions were about Earth. For example, what happened to Clays? And the rest. I would personally have to ask the king. I submit and shake my head. I guess I just have to wait. Patience will deliver all the answers I require. It shouldn't be that much farther now. We're making good time. Oh, Endymion? The form. We should probably fill it out now. Right. Form? It's just a standard immigration form. Everybody new to Terra must fill it out. It helps keep track of the numbers, but it also gauges your personality. It can help you to find a suitable job. Not that you'll be needing a job. We know you won't be here permanently, but we can't give you any special treatment. To everyone else, you must be an immigrant. You've come here to start your life anew. We can't advertise who you really are. And if Lord Player to deal with us, well, he'd expect the papers immediately. Man, this game just covers every single great of the last generation. You got Steins Gate. You got Persona. You got Papers, Please. When does it stop? It doesn't. The train does not. This started to feel more and more like Earth. Perhaps I'm not as homesick now as I was earlier. Endymion reaches into his pocket and pulls out a paper. Papers, please. And then what I assume is a Terran writing utensil. After a few moments, he starts to write stuff down. Pants. Man X. Off to a good start. We know your name. For the rest, just answer honestly. Or not. I guess it's your choice. Conrad looks at me and smirks. I know it seems silly, but laws are laws. And it also beats an awkward silence. Especially since we're a long way from town. Would you like to save your game? Yes. No more. Answer the questionnaire honestly. I don't give a shit. Well, this is the first one that's self-explanatory. It'll influence my internal thoughts. Get out of my head, game. Are you a boy or are you a girl? Free! Can I not be like sexually assaulted in game, please? I don't need to be complimented by. Starting with the obvious, I guess. A large corporation wants to hire you. Do you prefer a leading role or not? An Endymion or a Conrad, you can say. I'm a leader. I did take you for a leader after all. A savior shouldn't be anything but. But leadership is so restricting. You don't have true freedom as a leader. Anyway, moving on. Let's see here. Do you consider yourself skeptical? Or are you an easily trusting person? I think I know the answer to that one. I'm definitely a skeptic. Wait, I was wrong? It wouldn't be the first time, Conrad, stupid ass. Hey, that's not nice. I thought I got a pretty good read on him. Right. You're about to go to war. Would you prefer to attack or defend? Oh, now we're digging a little deeper. Remember, there are no wrong answers. We're simply defining you on paper. To that end, what position do you prefer? Top or bottom? I prefer attacking. In other words, you'd rather be hostile. I like you more and more. Starting to think you make a fine protege. Now, allowing us to move on. Would you take one life to save many? That's kind of what we do every day. You think you'd be able to do it? Take a life for the greater good? For the greater good! That's what I thought. Can't be the savior without getting dirty. Maybe we need a third assassin, Endy. I won't even humor the thought. They're destined for much greater things. Many more deaths. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Alright. We're almost done, I promise. You're running late to your destination. The paths before you are as follows. There's a short but dangerous route, and a long but much safer route. If you take the long way route, or the long route, you may be late, but you already have a piece of buttered toast in your mouth, and you're running to class right now. But the short route may lead to your death. You might trip and fall, and the buttered toast will land buttered side down on the dirty ground. Everyone's walking through here, they'll all laugh at you. You might tear your pants too. You don't know. It's a social outcast situation. I don't know if you want that. What route do you take? Short and risky is my style. That's what I'm talking about. A lot more interesting than this. Nothing is fun without a little risk. Conrad winks at me. Yes, but we have the Savior with us. We can't risk their lives for expedience. Where's the option for being Chuck-kun? Next chapter, dude. Yeah, but if they are the Savior, you think they could handle some trouble. They both stare at me. Are they expecting me to say something here? I shrug it off. Just one more question, I promise. Besides, we're almost to town. We've been walking this whole time. About time. I thought that was like a question. Do you prefer the company of others? Do you prefer to be alone? I let them know that I like the company of others. Glad to hear it. I was starting to think maybe you hated us. I know Endymion can get on people's nerves. That'd be pretty lame. After all the trouble we went through, you're a douche. Conrad. I apologize for his words. Etiquette was not in his curriculum. However, fortunately, we have concluded, and not a moment too soon either. Your job is janitor. The town is just a few moments ahead. I know we can't make many detours, but we need a hand in these papers. We'll make a quick stop. That's it. We should probably check our mail too. That's true. Galen may have written. Endymion looks at me and sighs loudly. I guess you're in luck, Savior. You'll get to see the Wayfarer's Tavern. It's the hottest place to be on Terra. He's joking, of course. We just stay there sometimes. and we own one of their postal boxes. They serve drinks too. Conrad likes that. But really, it's an immigration office. They just need to spice it up a bit. True, nobody likes mail and immigration. But everyone and their mom loves drinking. If you look ahead, you can see it. He points ahead, and I see he's right. A small town is coming into view. A bar that doubles as an immigration office? It sounds weird, but so does everything as of late. At least we can take care of two matters at once. Handing in my papers and taking a pee. And checking their mail. Then maybe, just maybe, I can meet their king. He would definitely have the answers I seek. Like everyone else has up to this point. Which is nobody. Back on Earth. Deep into the night of Clay's death. Oh my god, Pants ran away! He just disappeared! Oh, who the fuck is this guy? I must admit it seems rather suspicious. But these midnight deaths? I never believed in them to begin with. Or rather, that they are supernatural. The media loves to romanticize things. I'm sure many people die at midnight daily. But to affect one of my own idols, mere days before the debut of their tour? No, it has to be a coincidence. I'm sure. Too many fucking characters, dude. Oh my god. I don't know, Singe. I mean, sir. Stinge is fine. We're closer than that, Rocker. Alright. Social media exploded at Clay's death. Good luck playing it off as a hoax. The body bag was even on national TV. I'm not sure how we'll spin this exactly, but fans are starting to fill in the cracks. There's talk of it being a crazed fan. The work of a stalker, they say. It can't be. I've seen stalkers before. They're much more erratic, not calculated. This has to be the workings of a serial killer. If it was a murder at all. A stalker wants to possess, not destroy. Factually incorrect. Yeah, the open lab code's really turning me on. I mean, what? So their end goal is Clay's murder? Absolutely not. That's self-centered. We must presume the killer will still act. A serial killer doesn't just stop. I had hoped this was an isolated incident, but the MO matches these midnight deaths, right down to the method of murder. It seems their goal becomes much more grandiose. If they aren't done, then who's next? That's what chills me the most. It gives me chills. A larger threat than a pop idol? Huh. What's wrong? I talked to Jade earlier about these deaths. She mentioned that they were like suicides. At least half of them looked that way. There's another half that was murder. No confusion there, gunshots and all. I was told that Clace died of asphyxiation. He was choking on his own ego, but there is no sign of struggle. Do you mean? Absolutely not. There's no evidence left behind. If he took his own life, there would be. You can't kill yourself then clean up. I'm very certain Clace was murdered. Oh well, what's this? You know what it is. It's your boy. But it's these midnight deaths I doubt. Are we facing a serial killer? Or is the media just making things up? This could be completely isolated deaths. Time of death being the same isn't that odd. No, they just cut off his fucking mons pubis at the bottom. He doesn't have that long of a torso. I guess that's true. But it's just not just that. It's time of death and method of death. A suicide with no evidence isn't suicide. So there are two groups then? The mysterious suicides and the murders. But I'm willing to bet that they're both murders. You seem to have figured out a lot. I thought they'd keep Clace under wraps. I mean, technically they did. They put him in a body bag. I had to pull a lot of strings. But I'm glad you figured it out, Rocker. There aren't two groups. There's only one. This is assuming one minor thing, of course. that we're dealing with a single culprit, and these aren't isolated in nature. So a murder covered up as a suicide, huh? Not very well either, it would seem. If they wanted it to look like a suicide, why would they take the weapon with them? If Place was found with a rope around him, none of us would be doubting this at all. But this is the same throughout all cases. I believe the police are jumping the gun. There is nothing that labels these suicides, especially in light of one major fact, Minor. All the victims were mentally fit. If we're dealing with a killer here, there's no way they're trying to trick us. They want us to know these aren't suicides. It's the police that are in the wrong. Or perhaps they're being manipulated. Thinking about this gives me a headache. Man, I wish I was in bed right now. Not thinking about the deaths of many. I'm sorry for robbing you of sleep. I just didn't want you to handle this alone, but thanks for bringing your guitar, Rocker. It's not a problem. Jade and Daz are outside as well. I'll stay as long as you need. Would you mind letting Jade in? We need to discuss press matters. We'll need to make a statement tomorrow. Absolutely. And Daz is here, you said? Please stay with her in the limo, and tell her what I plan to do with her. Roger. Moments pass. Hello again, Singe. I feel like it's been a while. Too long, I'm afraid. And not under the circumstances I'd prefer. Indeed. I always felt bad for Claes. How people were blaming him for the murders, just because the Death Star wouldn't we... Sorry, I shouldn't get into superstition. I just never would have guessed. Claes' death would be what absolved him. And people can't blame a victim, I mean. Indeed. And how do you think I feel? I didn't buy into these midnight deaths. I left him vulnerable, open even. I'm used to the media making up trends, even in completely unrelated things. I should have been more cautious of this. I should have assigned more guards to him. Perhaps this could have been avoided. I don't think guards would have helped, sir. Besides, have you worked on your alibi? I need to copy it. I wasn't that good in school. Alibi? You were the last person to see him alive, and you two had a heated argument as well. You should drop that line of thought, Jade. Veiled accusations only hurt you in the end. The media will want to know. It's not me. This is what you asked me here for, right? So we can decide what to tell the press? I suppose you're right. That, and the changes we'll need to make. The tour must go on as planned. Just pull someone right out of the fucking crowd. We'll just have them sing all the songs. We'll turn them into an idol of their own. The amount of refunds people will want. It makes you scared just thinking about it. That's a separate beast entirely. But first, how about we address the deaths? I think you need to be blunt. You shouldn't be anything less than honest. Tell them you don't know what happened. We're on the same page as everyone else. Let them know we're cooperating with police. It's important they feel in sync with us. We must not appear to hide facts from them. We'll make things as public as the police does. You're right. There isn't much else to do. But we still need to talk about the tour. I'm gonna go broke, man. Indeed. This is where we have control. I know what you plan to do with Daz. Rocker told me as we crossed paths just now. We shouldn't change topic just yet, though. Huh? Remember the two groups of deaths? The group of murders and of suicides? I figured out something shocking tonight. They're both murders. The culprit for the group of murders? They were found a week ago, Singe. What? And here's what gets more bizarre. They have a watertight alibi. Excuse them fully from the suicides. They were a copycat killer. And they've admitted this openly. The true culprit is still at large. We still don't know how he shot someone. There's just no wound or anything like that. But that's besides the point. We need to move the plot forward. The true culprit is still at large. I see. But the police are still in the wrong. The suicides are not suicides at all. At least conflicting MOs aren't an issue. We'll have to focus on the suicides now. Does this make it easier on us? Unfortunately not. There's just too much missing here. No suicide note, no evidence, along with the victims being mentally fit. If it was a suicide, there'd be more evidence of the crime scene. Instead, we have almost nothing at all. There was something in the news last week. They said they survived the midnight deaths. Unfortunately, this was all a ruse. They just wanted 10 minutes of fame, so everything we wanted before is gone. We're really back to square one here. The true culprit must be an expert. They can tamper with the crime scenes. They can leave no shred of evidence behind. Just who could it be? It's likely a cop. Someone who's been trained in these things. It's possible. I have a theory, though. Something a little bit more bizarre than most. Not this shit again. Oh, thank God. I don't have time for quantum mechanics. So yeah, it seems like a straightforward suicide. Here's the problem, though. They've all been like hanged, and there's like markings of a noose, but there's never a noose around because God forbid someone just like nooses them and then takes the noose off and walks away. So no one's put that part together yet. Everyone's just saying, "Oh yeah, they just killed themselves without a rope." But yeah, don't think too much into the plot here. There must be a logical reason for this. The murder started as our tour arrived. The killer must have had a police background. Jade. Yes. Bring me Clay's security guard. I'll need to speak with him immediately. You mean? Yes. At this point, it's very logical. Our own hired guard could be the killer. Dun dun dun! It's someone from another world, you idiot! Meanwhile, in the privacy of the limo, oh boy, now I get to meet Daz. Hey, Daz! Oh no. Sorry, I was a world away there. That's fine. I mean, given what's happened and all. Part of me is worried. And part of me hates that I'm not worried for Clace though. And not even for those around him. I care more about our own careers. Who will you play guitar for? Who will I sing and dance alongside? Forgive my foolishness. I should have never said that. There's no need to apologize. I thought the same things. A death is absolute. It can't be changed. What happens to us, however? Well, I'm fucking out of a job. It's malleable. Worry is normal. Perhaps it's also partly denial. One of the steps we go through in grief, there's a 5-step plan. One where you blah 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 blah. That's essentially where this game's exposition would go. Yeah, we can justify it that way. But at the end of the day, I'm scared. I've never seen Sin show any emotion. Idols come and go in this business. He stabs without any hesitation. I don't want to be like that. Emotion is what makes us truly alive. I bet they're talking about the tour. They'll probably just address the press, and then forget Clace even existed. I want to feel sad, but can't. Is there something wrong with me? Am I becoming like Singe and Jade? They're in a fast-paced business, Daz. They need to roll with the punches like us. I like this. You and I have time to adapt, but they'll be in the spotlight pronto. Also, they were talking about the tour. I know it's going to happen to us. That's why I'm not as worried anymore. But if I tell you, you'll understand. Then maybe you can put this worry aside too. Really? Yeah. Singe is engaging in damage control. He needs to minimize any refund requests, so the tour's opening light will change. Instead, it'll be a visual for Clace, something all of its fans would attend. He's definitely playing to their grief. But that's a good way to retain the audience. That's extremely cold. It gives me chills. It's extremely Singe, isn't it? The show must go on, he said. I suppose. So, a vigil then. So what's gonna happen there? Huh. Have you heard of the story of Japan's birth? Excuse me? Is that even relevant right now? If you'll listen, I'd like to think so. Oh my god. If the game doesn't cut to black right now, I'm gonna cry. Because I'm really not down to hear about Japan's entire birth when there's exposition to be forwarded. Like, we got shit to do, everyone. And it ain't listen to Japan's birth. Very well. Before the universe, there was nothing. A huddled mass of chaos and total stillness. It lay there forever, not moving an inch. Though one day, it flinched. It started to move, like a cloud, and soon after that, like a hurricane. Boom, 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 bam, bam, 7 billion years later. Jeez, all of everything, Noah's Ark, all this shit Japan's made, boom. Some chaos rose to the top. The light, this created heaven, or Takamakahara. But some of the chaos was dark in nature. It wasn't worthy of ascending to heaven. It stayed at the bottom, becoming earth. A kami was born between the light and dark, a god known as Ame no Mina Kanushi, or All-Father of the originating hub. I'm sorry, I had to stop you there. I don't buy into this religion stuff. Who said anything about religion? I'm merely spouting myth. Are those not one and the same? Oh boy, an existential argument. Yeah, he did leave out the best part. Please allow me to continue. A large rainbow connected heaven to earth. It acted as a bridge between worlds. Ame no Ukihashi it is called, or Floating Bridge of Heaven, because I went to Google Translate. 2 more gods came into being at this point. Their names were Izanagi and Izanami. Earth was still a puddled mass of nothing. Izanagi and Izanami stood on the bridge. They looked down at this nothing in awe. Izanagi was gifted a spear of Mina Kanushi. He thrust the spear into the dark puddle. Upon pulling it out, it started dripping, because it was wet, like water. These drops stayed on the surface. They formed the islands of Japan. The first landmass on Earth was born. And they were tasked with descending into the bridge. They went down and finished creating Earth. The end. Izanagi engaged in a purification ritual. He washed away all the impure aspects, and then he used them to aid in the creation. Our sun and moon, created by impurities in his eyes, and storms were born from those in his nose. All of his impurities were used, even the butthole. After that, we were born, with a world to call our own. That's awfully convenient. We're created from impure aspects of God? Sounds like a tragedy if you ask me. How does it relate to our tour? Or us? I'm about to get to that. Singe is altering the entire tour. It'll be a retelling of this story. The set list will symbolize its creation, and souls will be offered to heaven. Through that rainbow bridge, of course. Not just Claysis, but all the victims. Huh. Elaborate. I didn't think Singe would do that much. Now I feel bad for assuming what I did, even though this is all conjecture and bullshit I pulled out of my ass. It's okay. You didn't know. So, will we perform covers then? Of Claysis hits and other relevant songs? You got it. But then you come in. The tour will end with a special surprise. A special surprise? Yes, an announcement from you. You'll be taking over the world tour. You'll be headlining, Daz. He'll perform to a sold-out crowd. Except they'll all use returns. It'll be your turn for the spotlight. You'll finally become something more than a worthless, shitty backup singer like you've always been in this whole band, Daz, you stupid, low-clothed woman. Something more, huh? Yeah. We'll be saying goodbye to Clays, and welcoming a new idol to the world. I suppose I should be honored. I will serve as your guitarist. You have my complete loyalty, Daz. Thanks. But I'm not sure about Shock. Him and Clays are childhood friends. You may take this harder than any of us. Right. Well, if you'll excuse me, this is overwhelming. I need fresh air. Of course. I guess I should join her. Even though she says she needs fresh air, I'm just gonna go breathe in her mouth with all this fucking bullshit of history. And then there's just me. A shuffling sounds from the front seat. Grandma's dead. Alright, yeah, I'm done for now. Well, that was an experience. Thanks everyone for joining me on this great adventure. Like it says in the bio, this will be every Monday because I can only do this for like an hour and a half before my voice gets shot. Because as you can see, there are way too many fucking characters in this game. And I'm not that good of a voice actor. So, if you liked what you saw, smash that fucking follow button. And if you want to watch me play something else, well, I stream throughout the week. Randomly, of course, but I try to make it as consistent as I can. But anyway, thanks for stopping by, and see you next time.